Hey everyone, welcome to the 5th episode of Committed Critics, a pop culture podcast where we're not just committed to our opinions, but also each other. I'm your host, Kevin Lau.
And I'm Ryan Davis.
And I'm Zach Wright. Welcome back, everybody.
Yeah, it's good to be back. I missed out on last episode's recording because work in these trying times, which is a blessing in disguise, despite, exposing myself, but I'm fine.
It's fine. We had Jordan fill in for you. She did a really good job.
I can't wait to hear that episode.
We're gonna petition for Jordan to take over as host.
That's fine.
Bye, Kevin.
Sorry, Kevin.
I'll become a side character with guest appearances.
Featuring Kevin Lau.
Season 2, we're gonna do like a little bit of an overhaul. Jordan's gonna take over. It's fine.
It's gonna be Jordan on the opening credit, like Jordan, and then it'll be Ryan, and then me, and then it'll be like featuring or like that and credit, like TV shows had. It'll be and Kevin.
With Kevin Lau.
With Kevin Lau. There you go. Yeah.
With Kevin Lau as Kevin Lau.
Anyway, Kevin, what have you been up to since we've last talked to you?
Yeah, so like I said, I worked a little bit, but I did manage to fit in some video games in my downtime. I finished Link's Awakening on Switch after putting it down for like a month.
Ooh.
I reached like Dungeon 7 when I felt like it was like, this is getting too hard. I put it down for a bit and then, picked it back up, blasted right through it. It was like, all right, I guess that was it. That's the game.
Attaboy.
That's the most recent Legend of Zelda game, right?
Yes, that's the most recent one to Switch that kind of looks like the clay models.
Yeah.
It's really good. Is it worth $60? I beat the main story in 10 hours.
Ooh.
Wow.
So I think the average is like 12 hours for the main story.
So wait, not better than Breath of the Wild then?
It's different. I wouldn't say it's hard when you can't really compare like Legend of Zelda games to each other because each one kind of reinvents what Legend of Zelda is.
Right.
And it kind of pushes the console to its new potential. But no, it's really good. I mean, but if you're coming in right after finishing Breath of the Wild, probably not the best idea. I recommend going out and finding a copy of Wind Waker instead, and that's gonna be like, I don't know, I think it's $25 now for a used copy, maybe 30.
That's not too bad.
I bought mine for 20. But I know it's going up because people are collecting GameCube games. But yeah, I hear if you want to do 100% completion, it looks like it's about 30 hours. Ain't nobody got time for that. One day I'll 100% complete it, but it was really good. I really liked Link's Awakening. I was glad to be able to play it on a modern console instead of trying to search for the old Game Boy version.
Right. Yeah.
And play that with those graphics.
Was it a remake or like a port over to Switch, or was it like a whole new
It is
game?
a full remake.
Okay, cool.
Well, it's it's not a port. It's a remake from the ground up, but it's like it plays exactly the same, pretty much.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Yeah, same top-down gameplay. But it's just a whole new art style and some more better functionality.
That's pretty cool.
Then I also played a game called Later Alligator, which is a hand-drawn animated indie game. It's point and click, where you are a detective a detective that works in a city of that resides where alligators resides, where alligators are people. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Okay.
That took a turn.
Alligators are people.
That was just that was Kevin flubbing, and then it got to alligators are people, and I'm like, what just happened? Hang on a second.
Alligators are people.
Yeah, alligators can be people too, but it's like a really cute cartoon. Alligators are people kind of thing.
Right.
Where you're supposed to one alligator thinks he's going to get murdered by his family, and you have to solve the mystery of what is actually going to happen.
Okay.
It's very cute, very funny. It only takes like 2 hours to play, but I really liked it.
Cool.
I felt very fulfilled. But then
What kind of game is it?
What's up?
What kind
It's
of
a
game
point
is
and
it?
click.
Point and click, okay.
Yeah. So you just basically you click on things to interact with them. There's like 25 mini games
Okay.
in it that you go through. And then you're just talking to a whole bunch of people. It's very nice. If you have Steam Share with Devin, he has it. That's how I played it. He recommended it to me through that. Then right now, starting last night, I installed Magic the Gathering Arena.
Oh God.
Yeah.
That's
Kevin's becoming one of them.
that's triggering for me. I'm sorry.
Oh, you
God.
do, what? Why? Why is it triggering?
Okay, I don't know if it was the arena or whenever I was like in high school, my friends and they always were trying to convince me to play like Magic the Gathering, like Duel of the Planeswalker,
Oh, uh-huh.
and I'm like, it never worked, and I was like, this game's so much fun. I'm sitting there like, please, like smacking my face in with the controller. I'm like, please let this end. I don't want to play this anymore. But you're my only friends on Xbox One because you forced me to get an Xbox One instead of PS4. Let this hell end.
Yeah, no, Duel of the Planeswalkers is rough.
Mhm.
I had never played it. I have always watched gameplays of it. I'm like, yeah, this isn't the Magic game I want. And then
It's not fun.
yeah, now the Magic Arena, I actually really like it so far because I was thinking about it, is like, man, I would really like to have Hearthstone, the gameplay of Hearthstone, but it's just Magic the Gathering cards.
Right, yeah.
And that's what Magic the Gathering Arena is. It plays just like Hearthstone in almost like lawsuit degree.
Oh God.
So it's a little bit more simplistic than the actual Magic the Gathering game.
I mean, I don't. It plays just like Magic the Gathering. I want to say it's more simplistic, but it's like it walks you, it holds your hand more, I'd say.
Okay, because
So you don't like screw up as much or like miss out on like what your card abilities does.
yeah, because Magic's confusing.
I'm still stuck on the in a lawsuit like way. That got me. That one.
Well, it's like because like the cards, like the board has interactive like an interactive environment just like Hearthstone.
Oh,
When you defeat
okay.
your enemy, they explode just like Hearthstone. They're like some of the sound effects are similar.
Mm-hmm.
It's just there's so much of it. It's like this is just like Hearthstone. I like it, but is this legal?
Who made it?
It is Wizards of the Coast. I don't know the exact developer. I'll have to look that one up.
Are we about to expose a copyright infringement?
I mean, it's been out for a while. They had the beta like last year. I finally decided to install it last night. But yeah, if you guys like Hearthstone, it's a little bit more complicated than that. But you know, it's because Magic is like Hearthstone is just like a simplified version of Magic.
Yeah.
There's a lot more strategy involved with Magic than there is with Hearthstone, but both are kind of like you really have to think about your moves.
Uh-huh.
But moving on, Zach, what have you been up to?
Oh God. Classes started. I'm in hell again. Online classes are absolutely the bane of my existence, so that's fun. I haven't had a lot of time for media or anything. Like I've been playing in my free time a lot of just Call of Duty Warzone, just so I can like end like mindless something to take my aggression out, basically. So I can rage, and a thing I can have an excuse to rage on. But that's with my friend.
That's what I play Magic for.
Yeah, basically, yeah. But that's so like I play with my friends online. So like my two friends back home, I play with them. But like I haven't really played any. I haven't touched Breath of the Wild since we talked about it with Ryan and Jordan last week. Are
you playing on Jordan's Switch?
Yeah, I'm playing on my own profile on Jordan's Switch.
Nice.
But yeah, nothing. I'm almost finished with New Girl, so I think after Jordan and I finish New Girl, we're gonna move on to either Sheila says she wants to finish Clone Wars. I kind of want to start either Good Place or Community and go from there. But yeah, I haven't really been up to much.
Have you read any good books lately?
I'm still finishing that one you gave me for my birthday, the editing one. I have like three.
Oh yeah.
I have 3 chapters left. I should just finish it, but again, I get so
Paul Hirsch, I think, wrote it.
Paul
That's his
Hirsch,
name?
yes, Paul Hirsch. It was really good.
I was right.
He was one of the main editors on the original Star Wars and a different bunch of 80s films. Another Ferris Bueller's Day Off was one of them. Footloose, and then he did like the new Warcraft reboot with like his daughter.
Oh wow!
I didn't realize that until I looked him up. I'm like, oh no crap, interesting.
The movie?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. If you hear any noise, it's my upstairs neighbor, so that's on my end. I apologize.
Whoops.
But yeah, I haven't had a lot of time to consume any media. Just a lot of YouTube and like meandering through the day. So let's just move on.
Life of a college student.
Trying to survive.
Yeah, basically. Let's move on to Ryan because I know he's been watching a lot more than I have.
I have so much. Well, one, Zach, if you're looking for something else to rage against,
yes,
I recommend Fall Guys. I'm very basic with
I
that,
want to
but
play Fall Guys so bad, but I don't want to spend $20 for Fall Guys.
I just learned about that this morning.
Do you? Why would you have to pay $20? Do you not have PlayStation Plus?
It ran out.
Yeah.
It ran
Yeah,
out.
Fall Guys is the most. I was like, this is stupid, and then I've been playing it like 2 hours a day. It's very addicting.
It looks so much fun. I want to play it.
It's so addicting. Because you always get to the very end of the race, and you're like, I'm about to win, and the one person decides to cross over in front of you.
Welcome to the world of Battle Royale, Ryan.
Yeah, it's better than Fortnite. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
But I've done a ton of stuff. I finished Mistborn, which I know Kevin also read.
Mm-hmm.
I finished the first book of the Dresden Files. I think it's called Stormfront.
Mm-hmm.
Stormfront. But
Yep.
finished that. That's a good series. If you like Percy Jackson with a kind of a Harry Potter like twist, but also more adult. That's how I described it at the end. I don't know if that's how Kevin would describe it.
That's pretty close, yeah.
Yeah, but I enjoyed it. It was very fun, very kind of dark. It's very twisted, but
Oh yeah. We will go more in depth into that next episode.
yeah.
Cool.
Because I have a lot of things to say about it.
Yeah, I finished Doomsday Clock, which is the DC Universe Watchmen crossover event. It has been building up since like they kind of rebooted the universe back in 2016. Yeah, 2016.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I finished that. That was pretty good. Kind of controversial ending, but we'll come back to that.
Was it worth the 4 years we waited for each issue?
Yeah, pretty much. They kind of rushed at the end. You can kind of tell how they write it. It's very rushed at the end.
Well, yeah, because it's like the issues came out like so few at a time. Then like the last bit was like, and it's done. And you're like, oh, what?
Yeah, like the tone just completely shifts. Like the first half, you can tell because they have it divided into 2 volumes. That's how I read it.
Mm-hmm.
And the first volume focuses more on the Watchmen character, like more like Rorschach and Batman and Lex Luthor and the Joker and everything. And like you kind of see more of them. And then the second half just takes a complete shift into focusing primarily on Dr. Manhattan and Superman and no one else. And I'm like, well, that was weird. Yeah, I'll discuss more of that in a different time. But I also finished Umbrella Academy Season 2.
Nice.
I say that's better than Season 1, by far. I enjoy the characters more, the villains more. It's much crazier.
I need to watch that. My friend from back home, he's not really a big like comic book nerd like us, but he said he watched Umbrella Academy. He and his girlfriend finished it in like 3 days.
It's addicting.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but I hear a lot of good things about it.
Have you not even seen the first season?
Nope. I read a little bit of the comic and it seemed pretty good, but like I totally forgot. It's like I read it and then I was busy with something else and then I totally forgot I was in the middle of reading it. But I will get back to it at some point.
Yeah, they don't follow the comic that much.
I would imagine because the comic is pretty short.
The comic's short and weird. It's rebooted though. After the show came out, they decided to restart it.
Interesting.
So it's making new issues now. They just released the new volume.
Interesting.
But
Speaking of comics,
I was about to say that.
Speaking of comic books, segue, Kevin. Look at us.
DC Fandome recently happened.
What a weekend for DC. Just a star-struck weekend for DC.
I know.
I nerded out so much.
I was thinking like, are they just saving? Because Comic-Con, like nothing really happened.
Yeah.
With virtual Comic-Con. I was kind of disappointed, especially the panels that I was looking forward to, where it's like, even it was just kind of like, oh, it's just kind of just standard Q&A. There was one with Jim Butcher for the 20 years of Harry Dresden. It was kind of like, we're going to answer these questions. And then like they burned through all the questions in like 30 minutes for a 45-minute interview. I'm like, all right, guess this is the panel.
What do we got left? Oh, nothing's left. Interesting.
Oh man, but yeah, so DC.
Let's start with the video games.
Yeah, DC was holding the cards tight to their chest on this one.
Gotham Knights and Kill the Justice League might be my 2 top like anticipated games coming out in the next year or 2.
Yeah.
Nice.
Those look really good.
Yeah, Gotham Knights definitely is on
same.
my radar.
I'm on that one, yeah.
Gotham Knights was a surprise.
Suicide Squad kills the Justice. Oh, sorry, Ryan. I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
Oh no, guys! It was just a surprise because I thought they were done with Batman games after like the Arkham series.
See, it's weird because like the circumstances of like Gotham Knights seems like it'd be in the Arkhamverse, but it's not.
Yeah.
Right. where Suicide Squad kills the Justice League is? Question mark.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's why I'm like, why don't they just reverse it? But whatever, I guess.
Well, I also think with the Suicide Squad one, because apparently I guess looking from the trailer, Brainiac takes over the Justice League, and I'm like, well,
Yeah.
how did that happen? I'm like, oh wait, they're missing their smartest person who usually has a contingency for everything. 'Cause
Right.
if Arkham Knight did happen, then Batman's kind of just disappeared right now, if not dead.
Oh,
Well, isn't like Batman still alive at the end of Arkham Knight?
Alive? I mean, he blows up the entire like manor in the cave. Spoiler, but
I mean, like the little like end credit scene where someone like two thugs are in an alley, they get attacked by a
it's
bat
kind of
figure.
it's left up in the air because like the way it just comes out is just like they don't know if it's Batman or if it's like Azrael or like some kind of like just demon type thing or something. Like it's really left up in the air. And I tried looking up like what does the ending for this mean? And it just means like yeah, somebody else took up a mantle of Batman or took up the idea of fear and predatory on criminals.
I'm pretty sure it's just Batman being alive. He didn't kill himself in the
I
manor.
don't believe he killed himself, but I don't believe it's Bruce Wayne. I think he did officially just like blow up everything.
Yeah.
Batman Arkham Knight ending explained.
Anyway, it's basically yeah. But yeah, so I think Kill the Suicide Squad is a little less what I'm interested in. Gotham Knights looks fun. I wish you could play with all 4 players, but you can't, which is sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird because I
Yeah.
think there was another game recently that you can actually play like up to 4 players in a game
It's
like
Avengers.
Oh yeah.
that. Oh, it is Avengers. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Should we talk about that? Because I've recently played it too. I know Zach talked about it a little bit.
Oh, the beta.
Yeah, we
It's
play. Yeah,
it's I don't even know how to describe it. It's not fun.
it's fine.
Is it clunky?
It's clunky. Yeah, it's got its
it
issues.
looks clunky.
It's also a beta. It'll be fine.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It just looked. It felt very boring. I did not care for any of the characters, the voice actors.
I think the appeal will be more around like team up with your friends. Like if us 3 wanted to go in with a 4th player, like with Jordan, for example, go in and we all pick a character and assemble. I think that's the more like the cool part about it.
Right.
The story is interesting. It's more for like the uniqueness and being able to team with your friends as the Avengers.
Right.
Which I'd rather just have a story-driven, like single-player story-driven game.
Yeah.
And and then a separate like team up with your friends multiplayer game.
If they wanted to do the team up thing, I think they should have had a bigger roster from the get go.
Yeah.
Because like with 6 people, it's gonna get very bland very quick.
Right. Yeah.
Whereas if they had like kind of how Marvel Ultimate Alliance did, you had like 15, 20 characters from the bat. So it's like, and you occasionally got them as the game went along. You got more characters. So I'm like, if they had started off with like maybe 10, 12 Avengers, like you have like, oh yeah, we already have like the the main 5, 6 or whatever. But then you have like I don't know, like Ant-Man or like Black Panther or Hawkeye, like. With just these 6, it's kind of like they all almost move the same. They all almost like I don't know. It just felt like
I mean, if you have a PS4, you can be Spider-Man, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love that. Good job, Sony.
It's just it does not feel like it doesn't feel like worth $60.
It doesn't feel. Yeah.
Right. Isn't there going to be microtransactions as well? Like they've confirmed.
Yeah.
It's microtransactions for cosmetic.
Okay.
So like skins. Yeah, it's like Fortnite. Yeah.
I heard it was kind of like up in the air whether or not it was only cosmetics or something that like kind of changed the game.
There will be DLC for like I think like Hawkeye and Spider-Man and stuff like that, and like different.
There's like even the gear you get, like 'cause they have the whole like kind of Destiny build gear in there. It doesn't change your cosmetic at all. Like you have to get the cosmetics in order to change your full appearance. And I was hoping like if they're gonna do this gear thing, you can like change like slight things on your armor or something, like the Iron Man armor. It would be cool if like, oh, you got a new helmet? Well, that helmet's on there, but the rest of your body still looks the same. You just kind of like upgrade the armor with different bits and pieces as it goes along.
See what they might do, because like that's the same way in Assassin's Creed. Like you put like an Odyssey, for example, when we talked about that a couple episodes ago. You put on a different helmet, it changes the way the helmet looks. Well, eventually, like as the game went on, I think like a year after it was released, they released a little update where you could choose the appearance of your, like if you collected all these armors, right? You can choose which appearances you wanted to put on, but kept the higher power gear. So that's why I think I kind of like the way the Avengers is doing it. Like it separates the cosmetic from like the power up, because I don't want like my Iron Man to have like weird black gauntlets with like an orange helmet, make it look all weird.
Right.
Well, I get that. I mean, like if the colors all matched, I'd be fine with that. But I want it to be like the different armor. Like you can choose the
Right,
color
yeah.
or whatever. The cosmetic can be the different colors, but
Yeah.
you have like the armor pieces look different.
Right, yeah. There should be some kind of like unique design with like that is kind of free, quote unquote. But like they did give you some like in-game currency to spend on the characters. Like I upgraded my Iron Man and got like a bunch of different skins with the in-game currency.
Okay.
So that was kind of nice.
I was expecting more like kind of how Destiny does it, not the whole their color system, but like how they do with their gear. Like you get different pieces of gear and it all looks different on you. But
Right.
But the skin color, like you can have the colors be whatever you.
And I think that they're trying to be like Destiny light to a extent. They don't want to be like hard Destiny grind to get this cool helmet. It's just more like you pick up this piece of armor, you upgrade it so you get more power. It's more simplistic, I think.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's a much more straightforward like RPG elements.
Right.
But
Yeah.
my favorite part of RPGs is just having weird, wacky costumes that mismatch.
Yeah. Sometimes it's fun.
I hate that shit.
Oh yeah, you're gonna hate Zach. Have you ever played Monster Hunter?
Ooh.
I downloaded it, played it for 5 minutes, said this game's shit, and uninstalled it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when you really look mismatched. He's like, oh, I got this huge giant wood looking armor with like this tiny little goggles on my hat, and my boots are metal.
Everyone's like, this game's awesome. I think you guys were saying, I think Devin was like, I love Monster Hunter. I'm like, this game's absolute shit.
Wait, Monster Hunter World? You think Monster Hunter World is shit?
It's not fun for me. It's not my cup of tea. It's not shit.
That's the most like mainline.
I had it at one point, and I sold it because I was like, I'm kind of tired of it. Gotten a bit dull.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about grinding and like fight. It's like and like boss fight after boss fight.
Yeah, I wasn't.
I find it interesting.
It's interesting, but it's just not my cup of tea. I just got bored. And I'm like, I don't want to do this whole multiplayer element where it's like I had to go like team up with some random player. I'm like, I don't want to deal with that. Just give me a single player experience, you know?
It's definitely yeah. The single player is a little rough. I definitely like playing it with friends.
Yeah.
You're just like, yeah, I'm gonna get my friends together. We're gonna hunt monsters, and like each monster is like a giant boss fight. It takes like an hour.
But you have to have friends to play Monster Hunter.
Yeah. But back to Avengers. I do like how you can team up with your friends and play multiple characters. Gotham Knights, circling back to that, I think it'd be cool if all four of you could, like, 4 friends could team up and be all 4 of the Bat family, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas you can only pick 2. That seems weird to me, but whatever.
It is kind of weird, but you know, it is what it is.
If that's my only gripe with the game, I'm sure it'll be fun. I'm sure it'll be a good time.
I'm gonna play it single player anyway, so.
Exactly.
All right. What characters do you guys already like decided you want to be as? Because I know we discussed this, but
Dick Grayson.
Dick Grayson. I am Jason Todd, Red Hood, all the way. I want to shoot people.
I feel like I have to be Robin now or Tim Drake, but like I also want to play as Nightwing just because Nightwing's cool as hell.
Nightwing's great. You don't have to play as Tim Drake, Zach. Come on.
I'm the youngest of you two. I feel like to keep the like everything in line, I have to play Robin.
But you're playing single player, so it doesn't really matter.
That's true. I do want to play Batgirl because Batgirl looks like she's got some cool abilities.
Yeah. It's like, I think it's like Robin's stealth. Red Hood is more brutal and slightly ranged attacks. Batgirl is, what was hers? I think hers is more gadgets.
Yeah, she seemed more gadgety. Yeah.
And Nightwing's is more acrobatic, fast.
I'm all about that fast combat.
Nightwing reminded me of Spider-Man PS4 a little bit whenever I watched him.
Yeah, no, it's 100%. Their moves are kind of the same.
Yeah.
I mean, if you read the Nightwing comics, you'd be like, this is just Peter Parker.
This is just dark Peter Parker.
He really is, though.
Not even dark Peter Parker, because he's pretty lighthearted. It's just his storylines kind of get dark.
He's probably the most lighthearted of all the Batman family. Like, and that's including like all the randos too. He's the only one who actually smiles.
Can I get Orphan in there?
I do want Orphan. I really want Orphan. Only because she's just brutal.
So yeah, so the Gotham Knights, like we got like we have an actual gameplay trailer, and like some gameplay footage as well of a boss fight with Mr. Freeze.
Right.
Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. It's just a cinematic trailer.
Yeah.
I think that's the reason why we're not as pumped for it, because we did not see actual gameplay yet.
We also have 2 years for it. It's 2022.
Yeah. So. Oof. So far.
That feels so far away.
We got time.
I wonder what it's like to be a civilian in the Rocksteady DC universe.
absolutely terrifying. Like
Yeah.
Arkham Knight just getting hit by the Batmobile and being electrocuted unconscious. No, that motherfucker's dead. Absolutely dead.
Apparently, all the quote unquote citizens got evacuated, and it's just all the criminals because apparently there's like 10,000 criminals in
Right,
Gotham,
yeah.
just like roaming
Right.
the streets. But yeah, if you get hit by the bat tank, oh, that person's dead. Looks at monitor. Oh, he's just unconscious.
I haven't played Arkham Knight yet, but I probably should. I have it on Epic Games. I got it for free.
Yeah, I love watching like there's like one off like dialogue in Arkham Knight where like Batman's like, oh, this is shooting rubber bullets at him or something like that. I'm like, if you're getting shot with a rubber bullet from the Batmobile, you're still dead. Doesn't matter how rubber it is.
Right, like it's a tank. It's firing out of a tank cannon, a rubber bullet, a tank cannon. No, you're dead.
A beanbag at a certain velocity
Yeah.
will go through your chest. I'm sorry.
Also, Kevin, the Arkham Knight plotline. I think you'll be able to guess the quote unquote plot twist at the end.
Ryan, I got
Well,
it.
yeah, it's like
I understand who it was.
it's just
Yeah.
Red Hood.
Yes,
right?
yes.
It was not like everyone's like, "Who's the Arkham Knight?" I'm like, "Huh, dude." Like as soon as they said like, "I want vengeance on Batman for what he did to me," and he's wearing red, I was like, "Is this Jason Todd?"
I know. I'm like, even I, who had no like anything with comics at that point, I just played Arkham City. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I heard something like a dead Robin. I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is just dead Robin. And like, I got to the end. I'm like, oh, dead Robin, cool.
Yeah, that's the main thing why I haven't like really gone forward to play with it yet, because it's just like I already know the twist. Like it's Jason Todd. Like, you know, why didn't you do something else?
It's more like a fun open world game. Cause like I still go back sometimes, just go in there,
Right.
drop down some thugs, kick their ass, hop the Batmobile, drive off. It's kind of like GTA meets Arkham Knight a little bit,
Nice.
or meets Batman. So it's kind of fun. And like it's more mindless fun, in my opinion. Arkham City is way more story driven and like great story stuff like that. So.
Yeah, Arkham Asylum I think still has the best story so far, but
I thought
Arkham Asylum.
Arkham City has the best story.
Arkham City, it's like I think it has the better ideas, but the execution of the actual like plot is a little weird.
Mhm.
Arkham Origins is pretty good too, actually.
Yeah.
Bold.
Not so much gameplay wise, but I still think it's really good.
The story is a good idea. I just wish they had done more with the assassins and the gameplay because it was very bland, especially because they wasted Deathstroke.
Right.
Yeah, in a sense. But in Deathstroke's introductions, the first few boss fights with him were really cool.
Also, fun fact: the Arkham Knight is now an official character in the DC comics. It's not Jason Todd. It's some
Great.
chick whose dad got killed by Batman at some point, and
Barbara Gordon?
I don't know who it is. Like she has a sword. She has a whole cult behind her. So
Court of Owls?
not Court of Owls, surprisingly. She was a random one-off villain. And it was like it's the Arkham Knight, but it's not Jason Todd.
Oh man, speaking of Court of Owls, like that's a great inclusion for the Gotham Knights concept.
Oh, for Gotham Knights, yeah.
I'm so excited.
Well, there's a theory that like Batman isn't actually dead.
Oh,
that like he
of course
suspected
not.
the Court of Owls, so basically he faked his death to lure the Court of Owls out.
Mhm.
But we'll see about that, you know. I want it to be like where everyone thinks like, yeah, Batman's not dead, and then like they tease like maybe Batman's not dead, and then like
You just see a body.
when you get to the actual reveal, Batman actually is dead.
That'd be pretty cool.
That would be pretty cool, yeah.
Because I want more games of this, and I don't want it to be Batman is back now. So if they bring more games, because if they do Gotham Knights like 2 or something, then yeah, they might add Orphan, they might add Spoiler, they might add Bat.
Right.
Bring in some other Justice League members,
Yeah.
like the Flash and
Ooh.
Green Lantern and
So, everything else of DC fandom.
Black Adam movie. What is that going to be
Oh
about?
God, Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
It's the Rock.
It's just The Rock, the movie.
I'm sorry, like there's no hype behind it at all. It's the Rock just like it's gonna be basically think Fast and Furious because the Rock already does like random stuff that shouldn't be humanly possible in that, and just take it up to an 11, and that's what Black Adam is.
Well, you
gonna
know,
be.
The Rock also has like agents to contract like how many times he gets beaten in a fight. So, you know, that's gonna be fun to see. Totally
Also, The Rock doesn't
fun.
have a Middle Eastern accent, so like it's just weird. He's from Kahndaq, and I'm like,
Yeah,
but like the whole thing behind like Black Adam is that he's from the Middle East, so he has like he's seen as a villain, but also people respect him because he has like heroic tendencies. Like Superman respects him, but he also is like, yeah, if you go and try to kill people, I'm gonna stop you.
Well, isn't he like technically a Shazam villain?
Yeah, he's technically a Shazam villain, but like he sometimes goes up against Superman too. And it's like, but like even Shazam has respect for him, like because Black Adam doesn't originally start off like just straight up villain because he misused the powers of that Shazam gave him, but over time, like him and like Billy come to this like understanding that Black Adam just wants to protect his country, and if that means destroying everyone else, then he's willing to do it. But Billy's come to this whole thing like, yeah, if you just stay in your country, we can be like good.
Segregation.
Yeah, pretty much.
Whoops.
It's like Black Adam's whole thing is like, don't mess with me, I won't kill you.
All right. Well, respect.
I mean, that's how it is with roommates, I guess.
But that's not how it's gonna be with The Rock, because he's just gonna be like, I'm gonna punch everything until it's...
I'm gonna punch everything, I'm gonna crush your skull, then I'm gonna tell a
yeah,
joke.
he's fighting the Justice Society. I'm like, why?
What? I don't know. I don't know about that movie.
Anyway, moving on. Wonder Woman 1984.
Oh yeah, Wonder Woman 1984. That had a new trailer. Looks good. Yeah.
I did not care for it. I got less hype seeing that trailer. I don't know why.
It's not a very hype trailer.
I think it was like too short. One. Two, I wish we had not seen the cheetah look, because I get why they showed it to show like, hey, it's not gonna look corny, but at the same time, I'm also like,
it looked kind of corny.
I wish we had saved that for the movie, because
Please tell me it was just like the people from Cats.
That's another reason I didn't want to see, because I was like, is this gonna be just Cats? Nah. It's gonna just be like, I'll wait for Taylor Swift to come in and just like start singing in front of like their fight and be like, what?
It's Judi Dench and Taylor Swift.
It's not as bad as the Cats.
It didn't look as bad, but it's also a night scene, so like you don't have to light as much. So it's like, yeah, we don't have to like do as much with it because it's dark out.
Right.
But I just wish they hadn't shown that, and also I just do not care for Steve being alive again.
I mean, like, it's still hard to tell like what the actual movie is about. And like I said, like that new trailer wasn't really much of a hype trailer. Like the first one was like set to a beat of Blue Monday. That's a hype trailer.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I'm gonna watch it regardless. So
yeah,
it's a trailer.
Yeah, I'll watch it. If it goes out in theaters, which I think it is, I'm not gonna go see it because one, COVID, and two,
I think it's pushed to next year, or was it pushed to November?
Is it?
I think you're right. Yeah. I think it was November, but I think it's up in the air now.
Okay.
All right, Kevin, your favorite thing coming out? No, second favorite thing. Sorry.
Snyder Cut Justice League. 4-part
HBO Max miniseries. Let's go.
Oh wait, they're making it 4 parts?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's supposed to be 4 hours, and they were like, "Well, we're not gonna make this a movie."
Nice. Oh, weak. Irishman is like 3.5 hours long, but I also have not watched that.
Because I feel like if people already complain like, "Oh, the Justice like Batman v Superman was too long," I'm like, well then. Yeah, you're not going to sit through a 4 hours movie.
Weak.
I think the miniseries is a good push. I think it's a good direction to go with.
I think it's a good idea, yeah. That's definitely going to attract more people. It's going to make it easier.
For sure. Digestible.
I just don't understand how you can watch 4 episodes of a series, but you can't watch a 4-hour movie. Like, how does that work?
Yeah,
it's called commitment, and people have issues with that.
I just don't understand it. It's like the same thing.
Yeah. It's like when I watch 2 hours of Adventure Time instead of a 2-hour movie.
Exactly.
I'm watching anime instead of a TV series.
You're free at an hour mark to go do whatever you want after that. If you're in a 4-hour movie, it's like, I have to sit for this for 4 hours. Whereas a miniseries at the first hour mark, be like, all right, I'm going to go pee, mow the lawn, do something else. And like next week, I'll come back, watch the next hour.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, some people do that.
Yeah.
So, but odd trailer for it. Put to the song of Hallelujah.
I feel like that's just a backhanded comment. Like Zack Snyder be like, yes, finally. And he's like, I'm going to do Hallelujah. Like, finally, Hallelujah, I got it. And I'm like,
yeah,
a little too on the nose.
That's what I felt too. Like he used it in Watchmen.
Yeah, it's a little, during a sex scene.
That's how I was cracking up. Yeah. I was like, is this just Watchmen all over again? Okay. And I also thought that, because everyone was like, you can't use Hallelujah because Shrek used Hallelujah and no one can beat Shrek. And I'm like, shut up.
It's not so much as that, but it's just more like it's been so overused even in comedies that it's like, hey, it loses the dramatic value.
I just feel like it was a choice just to be like, yeah, I'm finally getting it.
This isn't your Saturday morning Justice League. This is for adults.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was happy.
Yeah, this whole tweet. Did you see that tweet from him?
I saw that tweet, yeah. You shared it with us, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I'm like, come on, man. Just like, like you just ignore the criticism at this point. This is your movie. You
got your movie. Why are you attacking them? Like, you don't have to be a dick about it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, sure. The criticism was wrong, but don't worry about it. Right. It's like you're getting it. Like, is this his vision that's finally coming out and coming to fruition? It's just, you don't have, you can just ignore the criticism,
Ignore the
just
haters.
focus on the praise, become narcissistic, live in a bubble.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
I mean, I already had the unpopular opinion of, I know I recognize the Justice League movie is bad, but I also still will watch it over like some other
Mhm.
like DC movies, like Birds of Prey or something, or Shazam.
Mhm.
But yeah, bold words, but I will.
Some would say wrong words, but
I'm sorry, both of those movies were not what I wanted, and they were not. They were.
Wait, you didn't like Shazam?
Shazam was just one. They made it too much. They made Shazam too much of a joke in that. Like, I get it's a 10-year-old have in the body of like a superhero, but at the same time, I was like, okay, can we move past this? Also, Billy's just a jerk. I hate Billy. I like at the end of that movie, I was like, I don't want you to be Shazam. Give the power to the rest of the kids who are just much better than you, and you get nothing.
Well, the movie's about Billy realizing he's a jerk.
I know, but he still acts like a jerk slightly at the end too, and so I'm just like, no. The only part of that movie that made me like,
He's a jerk because he thinks he needs his mom back, but in reality, he had a real
yeah, I
family in
get that,
front
but
of him.
like,
The
I
whole
enjoyed
time.
watching the family over him. Like, I was like, yeah, get rid of Billy. Like, he can go off and do his Shazam stuff, whatever. I want to go back to the family because they're just so wholesome. Like the parents, I was like, I want to see them. They're taking care of these like foster kids. I'm like, I love them. I want a movie about them and just them, not Billy. Just the
so Ryan hates orphans. That's what we're coming down to.
oh,
what?
rip.
Ryan hates specific orphans.
I hate the jerk orphans.
The jerk
yes,
orphans.
people,
There
if
you
you're
go.
a jerk and an orphan, just get out here. Yeah, Batman, I'm talking to you.
Don't get Ryan started on Annie.
Yeah, screw Annie. He just goes with Daddy Warbucks or whatever and gets money all the time. Gosh, rich girl.
Rich orphan.
But the last thing from DC fandom that I think we're all excited for, the Batman.
Not the DC staff getting laid off.
Why are you gonna kill the mood? We got like 15 minutes left. We got another sad topic. Why are you gonna kill the mood?
Yeah, you got me there. But yeah, Robert Pattinson is Batman.
Okay, you guys know I have not been hyped for that at all.
We know.
Yeah.
But that trailer was good.
I know. I don't really care about think about actors making or breaking a movie. It's more of a director doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Unless like watch a trailer and be like, either this actor is miscasted or was poorly directed. It's usually one of the two, but like it's Matt Reeves directing it, who did the Planet of the Apes movies. I'm like,
Right.
Yeah, like that style with Batman, I'm all for it. Just sign me up.
I'm all for it. I was just like, Robert Pattinson was not my first choice as Batman because I was like, this is a skinny, pale white boy. I'm like, I guess Bruce is living in a cave, but like,
I'll tell you now, Ryan, that skinny white boy will kick your ass with some Brazilian jitsu.
I know that,
right
but
now.
at the same time,
All because you ask who he is.
here's the thing. Batman and like, if we're going like old Batman, like back when he had a gun and all that, yeah, I can see Robert Pattinson being that Batman because it's like, that's skinny Batman. But now we look at comics and Batman looks like he's shredded and he like bends steel beams with like his fingers. So I'm like, Ben Affleck, I was like, oh, this makes sense.
Yeah. It's a little bit of a mix of like the classic and like current Batman.
Which I like the whole detective aspect of it. Like, it's supposed to be more of a mystery movie than it is like an action movie. Like,
Right.
it's
And
like,
the Riddler's a great villain for that.
oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Like, some people were like, is that Hush? I'm like, no, it's Riddler.
Yeah, the Riddler costume is kind of weird.
I don't know if it's the final costume. I think that's just what we saw. I don't know if it's the final thing.
Yeah, it hasn't been fully announced like this is the Riddler costume. But it's kind of like maybe it's just some other serial killer. I don't know.
His voice, though, is good. The voice.
Yeah.
I didn't know who the actor was for
Paul
Riddler.
Dano.
Paul Dano from Swiss Army Man. He's had more serious roles. He's actually a really good actor.
I was like, you know me, I haven't been like hyped about this cast at all. I was like, Zoe Kravitz. I was like, and the only people I was happy about being casted was Andy Serkis' Alfred and the guy who plays James Gordon. I can't remember his name right now.
Jeffrey Wright.
Jeffrey Wright, yeah. Like, those are the only people I was like, okay, those are good castings. Everyone else I was like,
I think you're crazy. This cast is freaking all-star and gonna be great.
I did not care until I saw Batman beating up a thug brutally, like giving him head trauma.
He just wanted his name. Batman didn't have to do that.
No, Batman didn't have to do that. It could be trailer, how it was cut, and how like it was like, what's your name? It could be a whole different scene. We don't know.
I know. I just thought it was funny.
I did it too.
Because it's like
Here's the thing: if people ask me my name, I snap their arms and then beat them repeatedly until then I go like, "I'm vengeance." It's not my actual name, but I'll.
Well, Ryan, you have your whole life motto. Work to the don't have to introduce yourself anymore, kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess.
There you go. If someone asks you what your name is, just beat them up.
Also, if he does scream out, like I know they kind of cut it off in the trailer, but if he does actually go like, after he beats up this guy and all these kids are looking at him like, "What the hell?" and he just goes like, "I'm vengeance. I'm the night. I'm Batman," and I'm just like. And they'll just be like, "What the hell, man?" Like, I don't know. I'll either like be like, "Yeah," or I'll be like, "Really?"
That'd be a little much.
A little much.
A little much. The style wise, in terms of the movie, it's a weird mix of Tim Burton's Batman and the Christopher Nolan's Batman.
Glad I'm not the only one who got that vibe.
Yeah, no, like the Nolan inspiration is there, but also like the Tim Burton inspiration is there too.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit of both, but I am excited. It's a year 2 Batman, so he's young, less experienced. It's he's being hunted by the Riddler. We'll see how it goes.
But somehow the cops are still working with him, which I was surprised by.
Maybe it's only Gordon that trusts him.
I mean, he was in the room with all the other. That's why I guess Gordon could still vouch for him. But I was like, oh, he's not friendly with the cops. Okay, that's different.
I want to see Batman beat some cops.
I mean, literally, I played Arkham Origins just so I could beat up the cops. I'll be honest. Like, literally, that's what it was like. Oh, it's the Batman. Let's get him and arrest him. I'm like,
fair. You know what? We're fair. I can respect that. Yep.
Yeah. But and then there was another one. The Suicide Squad movie by James Gunn. That one looks really good.
I need more of a trailer.
I'm happy with the fact now I only know all the people who are casted. Like I didn't know all of those actors, but I'm happy they're using the most obscure villains they could. Because the problem with Suicide Squad that I have felt is that they use 2 iconic villains at this point. So it's like, are we gonna kill if you kill this person? It's like, you just lost one of the best villains you had. Like you can't kill like Deadshot or Boomerang or Harley Quinn. So I'm happy they got like Polka Dot Man. Like who cares if Polka Dot Man gets his head blown up or something? Like
I'm surprised Condiment King wasn't in there.
Yeah, because they have Polka Dot Man. So why do you need anything else? It's like he's probably gonna
Polka Dot Man and Condiment King could be like a duo.
You know what? I want only Polka Dot Man to survive this entire movie. I want everyone else to just get brutally murdered.
Knowing James Gunn, he might do that, or at least that would cross his mind.
That would make my day. If only Polka Dot Man and Viola Davis came out of that movie alive. Everyone else, screw them.
But the costumes look really great, and we don't have like an actual footage. We just a lot of behind the scenes type stuff. But it looks like a lot of fun.
Which is weird for it. Which is weird because didn't they finish filming?
They finished. Yeah, I think they finished filming like a while ago.
I just find it funny that the Batman gave us a trailer with like a small amount of the footage shot.
Yeah,
25%.
Right, but the Suicide Squad can't give us a trailer with the full footage. So
they all right, probably whatever. Are because with COVID going on, they don't know when they're going to actually release the movie. So I guess it's more of a, hey, we'll give you this taste of it, but we want to see 1, how you guys all feel about it, and 2, we also need to figure out when can we release this movie in theaters because we need money.
Right, because doesn't Suicide Squad need reshoots too? I think that's what they said.
Yeah. I didn't think so. I thought it was done.
I thought so too. They can't need as many reshoots as the first one did.
Yeah.
I like that movie, but even so, I will say that movie should not have done all the reshoots it did. The tone just completely changed.
Yeah, it's that movie went through hell. I mean, I still kind of enjoy it. Yeah. It's like a guilty pleasure.
I'm sad Will Smith isn't in this one.
It's very unfortunate what everyone had to go through. But was there anything else in DC Fandome that was announced? I wasn't aware. I didn't see the full announcements.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't think there's anything else, and I think we're running out of time, so we probably should move on to the next.
Moving on, and we're gonna have a tone shift ourselves. So Chadwick Boseman, who played as Black Panther in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, passed away recently. He passed away from colon cancer. It's a silent battle that he's been battling for the past 4 years. He passed at age 43 with his family, and it was just announced on social media just out of the blue, and it's still people are still talking about it like 3 days later,
Mhm.
2 days, two and a
Yeah.
half days later. Yeah, it's rough.
Very.
This one, because like celebrity deaths don't usually get to me personally, but this one,
Yeah.
it kind of hits.
Yeah.
It hits pretty
It
hard.
just hits harder because I think like we had this whole future planned out with him, and like we're gonna see like he was probably gonna take over like one of the leadership positions like in the Avengers movies, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he'd be like a main focus. And now we won't get it with him. We'll get in some other capacity, but that's not a conversation to have right now.
Right.
But it's just sad to see the potential and like the infinite number of possibilities we could have gotten are now just gone because he's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just hits hard. I mean, like everything's been terrible with COVID and the economy, and we don't know what this election is going to be like. And then you just see like Chadwick Boseman, who's been, I mean, for me especially, because he's been a kind of an African American icon. He's
Mm-hmm.
played, besides just being Black Panther, he also plays Jackie Robinson, Thurgood Marshall, and James Brown, who are three like big influential like African American people, and he just he was iconic. Like he just, I don't know how to describe it.
It hits hard. It hits hard.
Yeah, no, it's like you said that he became an icon, uh, especially for like our generation.
Yeah.
You know, because we didn't grow up with black superheroes, that family friendly black superheroes. And then now like the Black Panther came out, and it's something, it's a representation we never really saw in the mainstream.
Right.
And that kind of paved a way for Into the Spider-Verse as well, and now into even like Shang-Chi upcoming Marvel film, for like more representation with people of color
Right.
in the mainstream media. And it's just like, you know, it was the start. We were literally at the start of an icon. Like we have the roots, and we were about to go forward. But then like, and now, like you said, it's now all that potential just vanished.
Well,
And
it's
I know
also. Oh, go ahead,
I
Ryan.
know you had sent that message from Ryan Coogler, because like his kind of farewell message to Chadwick Boseman, but like, you know, he didn't know, and like he had been planning for Black Panther 2. Like he had been setting up where where Chadwick Boseman would take that role like into the future.
Right. I think it shows because he was diagnosed in 2016 with stage 3 colon cancer, and 2016 is when like Civil War came out. So he filmed Civil War. I think Marshall was in there, right?
Yeah.
And then Black Panther, Endgame, and Infinity War. He did that. 21 Bridges, all silently while he was dealing with this. No one knew. No one had any idea. And he still went through and like pushed forward and wanted to like not become this icon, but give this like hope for young black teens and like people to look up to, and that's just so inspiring.
Right. I know it's been a lot of things circulating on social media of you know, just, well, black children, like this was our hero.
Yep. And like I've seen pictures like on Twitter of like little kids having a funeral for a Black Panther action figure with all the other heroes surrounding it, and it's just sad.
Yeah,
you lost just that representation for them, and it's kind of like this hero that, I mean, like, I don't know, it's just, I mean, that was our shining moment. Like that was probably the most biggest thing in the entire black community for like a while. Like just when Black Panther came out, I know it just changed a lot of things, or not changed a lot of things, but like I just remember my family, all these other people I knew, they were just so excited. And like people I knew who didn't care about comics, didn't care about superheroes, and never seen a Marvel movie in their life, like rushed to go see Black Panther 2, 3, 4 different times.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know how kids in the playground would be like, "Oh, I'm gonna be Spider-Man. I'm gonna be Batman." Now, like, Black Panther is in that pool of characters that kids want to be in the playground, and you know that's huge.
No, it's just heartbreaking. It's been too much death this year, and 2020 has not been a fun year for anyone.
I mean, it just goes to show how important representation in media is, and how big of an impact it has, even though it's like, you know, Black Black Panther isn't the greatest movie of all time, it still resonated with a lot of people
Right.
because of its just representation alone and how great, how it was still like, despite its flaws as a movie, it's still a fantastic movie with fantastic representation. And it's just something it's just, I when I watched a documentary recently, Rising Phoenix, that I worked on, that it's about the Paralympic Games, about people with disabilities going into sports, and it's just like, it's the same thing. It's like talking about like representation in media and how important it is, and how little we get of the other side. And then when we do get the other side, it becomes a big momentous occasion, and we need more of that to normalize representation of all sides. Because even though you could say like every story that can be told has already been told, you're missing out on like so much more by excluding a minority. And Black Panther shows like there's more to the superhero genre. There is more to that black cinema can be capable of. Black cinema can be mainstream. And Chadwick Boseman was just the face of that. And like reading Ryan Coogler's letter and like seeing how much contributions Chadwick himself made to the character, like the accents and the language of Wakanda, and a lot of the decisions that like I wouldn't have guessed came from him. It just became very iconic in the representation.
It's well said. Yeah, well said, Kevin.
So this has been the 5th episode of Committed Critics. You can follow us on Twitter at Committed Crits. That's COMMITTED CRITS. We will have our episodes available to stream on YouTube at KFM Studios. And special thanks to our sound engineer, Jordan Smearman, for doing their sound engineering thing. I don't know what you do, Jordan, but you're doing a good job. Keep up the good work. You can support us on Patreon down below, and we will see you in 2 weeks. Bye.